Hi everybody, Johnny here, and I have a ridiculous problem. My friend Siggy's been busy, and she wants to be doing some cooking. And what is she making? Looks like she's doing some bacon with frogs. She's baking pies and muffins, and here's her recipe. For pies, it takes 4 frogs. For muffins, it takes 2 frogs, and somehow she's got 12 frogs already. I don't know how she got them, but that must have been a lot of fun. How many pies might she make? How many muffins? And can she make some pies and some muffins? That's pretty fantastic. I think first thing we're going to need is some frogs. All right, here's a frog. 1, 2, 3, 4 frogs. 5, 6. That one did leapfrog, huh? 7 frogs. 8 frogs, 9 frogs, 10 frogs, 11 frogs, and 12 frogs. What a lot of frogs. Now, if we're going to make pies, we've got to remember it takes 4 frogs to make 1 pie. Well, I like my pie. I don't know about frog pie, but here's a pie. How many of these pies might we make if it takes 4 frogs to make 1 pie? Well, think about it a bit and talk about it. Let me see. I think I have a plan. Let's try it out. There's my pie. Let's go ahead and put some frogs in it. 1 frog, 2 frogs, 3 frogs, 4 frogs. So I know so far I've made 1 pie with 4 frogs. Looks like I've got plenty of frogs left. Maybe I should make another pie. Well, here's another pie. Let's see. 1 frog, 2 frogs, 3 frogs, and 4 frogs for this pie. So far I've made 2 pies with my frogs, and I still have some frogs left over. Maybe I should make another pie. Well, here's another pie. It takes 1 frog, 2 frogs, 3 frogs, 4 frogs. Oh, look at that. I've made 1, 2, 3 pies so far. So my first question, how many pies might she make? I know that she can make 3 pies. Well, our next problem is how many muffins? Well, let's go ahead and eat all these pies. 1 good pie, 2 good pies, 3 good pies. Still wondering how you keep the frogs in once you put them in the crust. Okay, now I've got these muffins. And I know that for every muffin it takes 2 frogs. I wonder how many muffins I can make with the frogs I have. Well, let's think about it, maybe talk about it a bit. Looking at the number of frogs I have, how many muffins might I make? I think I have an idea. Let's see, if I take this 1 muffin here, I could put 2 frogs in it. Yep. Well, there's 1. What about another? What if I make another muffin? And with this muffin, I'm going to put 2 frogs in it too. 2 frogs in that muffin. Now I've got 2 muffins. Can I make another muffin? Looks like I can. Here's another muffin. 1, 2. So I've got 3 muffins so far. Still plenty of frogs left to make some more muffins. Well, here's a muffin. And here's 1 frog for that muffin and another frog for that muffin. And how about another one? Can I make another one? Looks like I can. 1 frog, 2 frogs for that muffin. And looks like I can make 1 more still. Look at that. I've made a bunch of muffins. How many muffins did I make? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 muffins with my 12 frogs. 6 muffins, 12 frogs. Wonder how that goes together. Okay. So I know that she can make 6 muffins. Wow. There's one more question though here. Can she make some pies and some muffins? Let's make ourselves a little tidy here. First, let's eat up these muffins. Okay. Organize our frogs a little bit better. I'm surprised none of them have hopped off the page yet. Some pies and some muffins. I wonder what a good way to start would be. Well, the one thought that I have when I start with this is that If it's going to be some pies and some muffins, you have to have at least one pie. So let's start with that. If we start with just one pie for sure, okay, how many pies? We have one pie. How many muffins might we make with that pie? One pie, how many muffins? One pie, how many muffins? Well, I think I got an idea. Let's get started. We take this one pie, we put our frogs in it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And look at all the frogs I have left over. Those all could be in muffins. I wonder how many muffins I can make with that many frogs left over. Let's go see. Let's see, here's one muffin. Okay, 1 and 2. Here's another muffin. Look at that, another pair of frogs here. So far 2 muffins. Do I have enough to make some more? Let's see, here's a muffin. And there's a frog to go in it. And here's another frog to go in it. Oh wow, that's pretty good. And then let's see, one more. Can I make one more? Looks like I can. So lots of muffins, lots of frogs. Let me make this a little tidier. Put this muffin over here with these 2 frogs. Now we can look at them all together. So if I'm looking what I have here, I've got one pie and 1, 2, 3, 4 muffins. Better write that down. So I know that she can make one pie if she's making 4 muffins to go with it. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? What if she doesn't start with one pie? What if she started with 2? Okay, why don't we just leave the pie we got up there already, put some of these muffins away. Bye, muffin. Eat them all up. Move our frogs back where we might use them. Clean up our kitchen table here. All our frogs on our kitchen table. Now let's look at this. We have one pie with 4 frogs. I'm going to add another pie to see how many frogs we might use, and then some muffins left over. So I want you to think about this. If I have 2 pies, how many muffins might I make with them? I think I have an idea. Let's try this out. Here's my pie. Let's go ahead and put some frogs in it. 1, 2, let's hope they stay inside. 3 and 4. Well, there's a pie full of frogs. Looks like I have some frogs left over. How many muffins might I make with those? Well, here's a muffin, and here's a frog, and another frog. There's one muffin. Can I make another? Sure looks like it. Another muffin, and 2 more frogs. As I'm looking at this now, I can see that I have 1 pie, 2 pies, and 2 muffins. 2 pies and 2 muffins. Better write that down. 2 pies and 2 muffins. I think I should add a word here, because it should be or. So we can make 1 pie with 4 muffins, or 2 pies and 2 muffins. We did pretty well with that one. Let's look at this problem a little differently now. Let's try it this way. Instead of using all these frogs and pies, let's make it a little simpler on ourselves. Same problem, same recipe. Let's make the frogs stand out for ourselves. Let's do it this way. This is something you could do too. Instead of frog pictures, I'm just use the letter F for frogs. Same question. How many pies might she make? Well, if I'm looking at this, I could think about pies this way. I know that every pie takes 4 frogs. Well, what can I do with that? Let's think about that for a minute. How could I use this picture here to help me figure out how many pies she might make? I think I got an idea. Let's try this. What happens if I circle all the frogs into pies? So far I've got 2 pies, right? So this is a pie and this is a pie. And if I do one more, there's also a pie. So what I know now is that I can make 3 pies. That's pretty good there. All right, what about the next question? Let's see. Maybe we need some frogs again. All right, let's get ourselves some frogs. All right, this time we want to make some muffins. Let's use the same idea. Now we know that 2 frogs make a muffin. So how might we do this right now? I'm going to think about it a bit. Maybe talk to somebody about it. I have an idea. Let's try this. Let me try making some pictures here. I know that every 2 frogs makes a muffin. And I know that these 2 would make a muffin. I know that these 2 would make a muffin. Even these 2 hiding in the middle would make a muffin. And these over here would make a muffin. And these over here would make a muffin. And I know if I count them now, I'm going to find myself having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 muffins. Better write that down. 6 muffins. That's a lot of muffins. Okay, that's pretty good then. Let's see, we got one more question to do here. See where we get with this question. Last one, can you make some pies and some muffins? Well, I suppose we're going to need some frogs again. Let's bring our frogs out. Here are our 12 frogs. Some pies and some muffins. Let's think about this for a minute. What would be a good way to start? I like the circles and drawing we were doing earlier. I think I've got an idea. Let's try this. Let's start with making the pies. And if we have at least 1 pie, how many muffins might we make still? Oh, I see what we can do. We can keep on counting out muffins too. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've got 4 muffins when I've got myself 1 pie. So I better write that down. So I can have 1 pie when I've got 4 muffins. That's pretty good there. All right, but I don't think that's all we can do. Let's try one more. Let's see, need some frogs again. Better go catch ourselves some frogs. Okay, here come some frogs. There's some frogs for us. Now we did 1 pie before. What happens if we do 2 pies? How many frogs might we get? I've got to think about this one for a minute. Oh, I've got an idea. Let's try this. Let's see. Got to make ourselves 2 pies first. There's a pie. And there's a pie. How many muffins might we make? Well, let's make sure we got our pies labeled first. 2 pies need some muffins. Let's see. Well, here's a muffin. And here's a muffin. Looks like we've got ourselves 2 pies and 2 muffins. Better write that down. 2 pies and 2 muffins. I think we've answered all the questions now. Looks pretty good here. So we found out about how many pies we might make with these frogs, how many muffins we might make with these frogs. But you know what? I think we need ourselves a little bit of a challenge. Let's try this. Look at this problem here. Same problem. Siggy is baking with frogs. She is baking pies and muffins. Her recipe? Pies. What's this now? 6 frogs for a pie. That must be an extra large pie. How do you keep all of them staying in? Muffins, 3 frogs, and Siggy has 28 frogs. Must have had a friend help her catch some frogs. Sorry I wasn't there. How many pies might she make? How many muffins? And can she make some pies and some muffins? Well, you know what? I think it's your turn to work it out. So why don't you spend some time working it out, thinking about it, talking about it, find out about the frogs and the pies and the muffins. Hope you enjoyed this ridiculous problem. Come back for another sometime.